Shalom, shalom, Israel. Giving honor to the Most High God and the Son, Yahushua. Captain Yard with the Battle Axes of the Most High, coming at you with another too legit to quit Thursday night class to get edified in the name of the Most High God. I pray brothers and sisters are doing well in this wicked captivity around this wicked time of the year that our people justified as. For the children of Israel, that's a great time of the year, but to the nation, to the world, rather, they don't see it as the dedication that we are finna celebrate for the Most High God. They see it as a wicked, custom, pagan holiday called Christmas. So we're going to touch on that tonight. The reason for the season, right? They always say, they sing songs. Oh, Jesus is the reason for the season. Shalom, family. Shalom, Brother Moses. Shalom. Yakir, how you doing? They always say, oh, Jesus is the reason for the season. But in actuality, and truthfully, he is not. He's nowhere in this pagan holiday. Right? This pagan holiday derives from a lot of wicked things, man. A long timeline of wickedness is where this pagan holiday derives from. So we definitely want to get into the real reason for this season or this time period that we're in. And we also want to get into and break down why our brothers and sisters should not be celebrating what they call today Christmas Eve and what they call it tomorrow Christmas, right? So we'll let a few more people get in, like Shalom, the brothers and sisters that are tuning in or that will be able to tune in. Pray that y'all open your hearts and ears to receive this message to get edification of the scriptures. Like I said, we'll just be touching on a few things today. Mainly, Christ is nowhere in this wicked pagan holiday, and what we should be doing right now around this point, around this time. So, y'all get ready. Pray that the Most High God is with me tonight, that He's with us, that we may be able to edify one another. You know, we all are swords fitted for destruction, vessels fitted for destruction. We all need to what? Sharpen each other's iron, right? That's what we are. Iron sharpens iron. So we pray that the Most High God is with us in this class tonight, that He may give us understanding to bring out the edifying lesson to this great nation of people who don't know that they are a great nation of people. Like I said, we'll wait, let a couple more people come in. Shalom, shalom. What is that? Lovely Lynn, brother Abiezer. Okay. Elijah Israel, shalom. Akim, shalom. I hate that I couldn't pronounce your name like I wanted to. But yes, man, we definitely gonna touch on shalom, shalom. How you doing, brother? Gat Dwan Turner, shalom. It's always glad to see my brothers and sisters hop on the live. You know, I don't really get to see a lot of y'all face to face, so it's always good that I do be able to talk to y'all and at least communicate with y'all via YouTube or whatever the case may be, StreamYard. You know, because man, we glorify the gathering of the brothers and sisters. Man, this is a great thing that the Lord has done for us. And we can't take this thing for granted, man, right? Even us just gathering together online, man, this is a great, powerful thing to have brothers and sisters from all over the world, all over the globe, come and tune in and try to get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Bible amongst one another, amongst fellow brothers and sisters, man. Hey, the wise silent, I got you. All right. The wise silent. I'm gonna try to remember that out. So we know this is a great thing, man. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 10 right quick, man, and get that, man. Hebrews chapter 10, we'll just start at 23. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to hold fast this profession that the Lord has given us, right? Brothers and sisters diligently online faithfully, man. You see Brother Moses, Lovely Lynn, you see brothers and sisters on here diligently, man, day for day, man, trying to get that word, man, right? It says, let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promise. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. And that's what these classes are for, to provoke you into doing good things, man. Right? No longer are we trying to provoke brothers and sisters to go out and hit licks and go fight that dude and go call her up and let's get some beef started. We're trying to get brothers and sisters to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High God. Those are the good works that we're trying to profess to the nation of Israel. 25 is the point. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is. We can't forsake even this assembling right here that the Lord has given us tonight to come to you, brothers and sisters, via class, YouTube, StreamYard, and try to get edified in the Most High God's name. It says, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is. Some people even take this and discredit the gathering that we have, right? When we're in Sabbath class and we going to keep the feasts, the high holy days, the new moons, the Sabbaths, the Passovers, the Feast of Weeks, and all of the high holy days that we keep. That is a great assembly, man. That's a great thing that the Most High God put together. That is brothers and sisters who have not known each other, right? Except for a few, right? Like I tell everybody, me and Benaniyah, Capt and Benaniyah, we literally grew up in the same hood. So that's like one out of thousands of Israelites that we've met, man, that, know each other. So, a lot of my brothers and sisters via internet or in the Battle Axe camp here in Dallas, I've never known them until, 5, 6, 7 years ago, man. So it's a blessing for that, man. And we can't forsake that assembling that we have, man. Shalom, Brother Abraham. Let's read that one more time. Hebrews 10:25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as we see the day approaching. So we are to exhort, brothers and sisters, if you are keeping the feast of dedication that's about to come up. Our feast of dedication starts tomorrow. Actually, we'll be celebrating tomorrow night for our first day of dedication. But we exhort brothers and sisters that are coming out of the ways of the world. They are not keeping Christmas. They're not keeping Thanksgiving anymore. They're not keeping New Year's. As we know that the week after this is not the New Year. That's a class for brothers and sisters. And brothers to bring out for next week. We exhort brothers and sisters for trying to come in and get words of wisdom and not having the wisdom of the world, man. So today's class, like I said again, the reason for the season, it's a question, it's a statement. We're here to debunk Christ being anywhere in this wicked holiday that they call Christmas. Let's go to Amos 5:21. Let's start there, man. Yeah, I cut my hair out. I'm like, dang, you cut your hair out? Yeah, man, we cut it and we grow it back, man. We cut it and we grow it back. Let's go to Amos chapter 5, verse 21. Wait a minute. Now, I know I just seen Amos. My bad. Look at Amos chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days. This is the Most High God telling the children of Israel that he hates and despises our feast days. He says your feast days, not his. The Most High God set in stone his feast days that we ought to be keeping. But he says, I hate and despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies, right? The Most High God says he hates our feast days, man. He don't want to smell the damn, Shalom, Sister Boss. He don't want to smell the damn pork that y'all about to be cooking and eating, and damn whack ass chitlins, man. that our people call a delicacy, man. Some people house probably funky as hell right now, man. Big Mama got all them doors open to the house. They're in there cooking, cleaning doo-doo, man. Right? The Most High God said he hates that thing, man. That was given to us in our captivity, man. The water, man. You know, I try, man. We try to cut it, try to keep it going. I just try to do something, man. The Lord hates that thing, man. Why you in here cooking stinky chitlins, man? That the heathen gave us in our captivity, man, and want to call it a delicacy. I go to a what's the name of that? A soul food restaurant periodically throughout the week. You know, I like soul food. I love sides, man. I love me some macaroni, man, some yams. I ain't gonna lie. You see this? It ain't for no reason, man. Some greens without damn pork in. Everywhere I go, I gotta ask them what they put in their greens and their cabbage. 9 times out of 10, they put whack ass pork in there, man. Right? But to get back to the story, I go there and 9 times out of 10, I get something like chicken fried steak, maybe some meatloaf. You know, nothing too major. But they have a menu, and the 2 highest things on that menu is, well, of course, you know, oxtail. You know, that's clean, that's good, right? We understand it, man. Good cuts of oxtail, but the highest thing on their menu is chitterlings. They down there $40 a plate, man. We call this abomination a delicacy. This is crazy. And the Lord says, I hate and despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies, man, right? Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings. This is the same thing that they were doing in the time of the Maccabees for them to revolt. The reason for the season is the Feast of Dedication, right? The abomination of desolation that they gave to us was they were trying to sacrifice swine's flesh. The Maccabees had to revolt on this thing, man, to tell our people to stop eating these things. We're about to celebrate Feast of Dedication. We out here trying to dedicate our temples, which is our bodies, back to the Lord, man, right? While they out here, verse 22 again, Amos 5 and 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, and I will not accept them. The Lord ain't accepting these offerings, man. You can say what you want to say. I'm doing it for the children. I'm just doing it for the children. Well, you know, we gonna make anything good. That's what they love to say. Well, we gonna make anything good. They want to give us tip. We gonna make it good. Nah, you can't. You can't make something that is unclean clean, man. Hold your precept. Let's go to that in Sirach, man. Sirach chapter 34, verse 4. Of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from the thing which is false, what truth can come? So what can come from an unclean thing? Pork is unclean. According to Leviticus 11 and 7, the book of Leviticus chapter 11, starting at verse like 46 on down, 47, at the end of that chapter, shows you the beast that can be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. But for this wicked holiday, one thing that they're definitely going to be cooking in this wicked holiday is pork. That is not of the Most High God. That is not of Christ. They love to say Jesus is the reason. No, he's not. Not for no damn pork. Not for you to be out here eating no pork, man. Right? I challenge any Christian to come in here and show me a scripture that says you can eat pork right now. And I know where they're going. They're going to Timothy 4 and 1. They're going to Luke chapter 7 or chapter 8. They're going to try to go to, it may be eating with Thanksgiving. That's not what the Bible is telling you, man. Right? The Lord isn't going to tell you one thing and then go against his own self and tell you something else, man. Let's go to Leviticus 11 and 7 real quick. Because to start out with this wicked holiday, the main food that they're eating is pork. I guarantee you. There is pork in every one of these damn houses that's going to celebrate whack Christmas, man. I promise you. I promise you. All right? Leviticus 11 and 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Because of our unclean beasts, they were cloven-footed, right? Like the cow, they are clean beasts because they were cloven-footed. But he said, although the pig is cloven-footed, right, and divided not the hoof, his hoof is not divided, right? He is unclean to you, even though he has some of the characteristics of the clean animals. The Bible said that he's not clean to you, right? Um, and this is the part getting to is not the cud, because all of the clean animals, they regurgitate their food. They have double stomachs. You know, a cow puts his food in like 3 or 4 different stomachs. And the pig doesn't do that. It doesn't regurgitate its food. It doesn't have anything called a sweat gland to take out the bad toxins in your, like we sweat. We go into the, and people don't understand that's the Lord making us the greatest people that we are, because He gives us sweat glands to take out those bad toxins out of our body. And it says in verse 8, of their flesh you should not eat, and their carcass shall you not even touch. They are unclean to you. But yet and still, lo and behold, they're going to eat some pork right now. Somebody going in the kitchen right now, stealing a piece of pork out of the damn greens, man. Right damn now. Right? I know, because I used to do it. That's right, Moses. Just pull. That's right. You ain't supposed to touch this thing, man. Let's jump at 11:46. Says, this is the law of the beasts and of the fowl and of every living creature that moveth in the waters and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. It's just like the fowls of the air. You can't eat every bird, man. You can't go out here and eat no raven, man, or no hawk, man. That's not a bird that you can eat, man. It's just not, right? The chicken, the pigeon, they I don't even know who eat the damn pigeon. It's a like a family, but the chicken, that's a clean fowl, man, right? I think the pigeon is clean. Y'all can let me know if y'all know if it's wrong or not. But I believe the pigeon is clean, but you can't eat no raven, no any like carnivorous fowl, man, like ravens and hawks and things like that. We can't eat those things. You have to make a difference between the animals that we can eat and the animals that we can't eat. And it's been there from the beginning of time. But they say this is the reason of the season. Jesus is the reason of the season. That's what they say. But Christ ain't got nothing to do with this pork that they got. So we see that that's first strike of this wicked holiday. Let's go to Isaiah 1:13. This is a precept to that, Amos 5:21. Amos 5:13, bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies. Salaki, the new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. Your new moons and your appointed feasts, my soul hated. They are trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. So the Lord is telling you that your feast, right? The Christmases, that's man-made feast. That's a pagan holiday. The New Year's, that's a pagan holiday. That's your feast. That's not his, right? The Easter, that's a pagan holiday. That's not his new moon. I mean, that's not his holiday or set appointed a solemn assembly. That's yours. You set that apart. The Lord didn't set that apart, man, right? Let's go to Sirach chapter 33 real quick. 33:7. The book of Sirach in the Apocrypha chapter 33 verse 7. Why doth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day is in a year is of the sun? By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished. So by the knowledge of the Lord, he distinguished every day that he set on this planet for us. His solemn assemblies, he distinguished those things. By what? By his knowledge. Right? We don't do Easter. And it's crazy that I tell people this all the time. Every time there's a pagan holiday, the Lord's high holy day is right around that same time. Right? You can't make this up. There's no more things such as coincidences in this kingdom, right? When I got in the truth, that's one thing I took out of my vocabulary when I got in this truth. There's no more such things as a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that when they're finna do Easter, we're finna celebrate what? The Passover, right? Which is a solemn assembly that the Lord distinguished by his knowledge. It's kind of crazy that when they're finna celebrate Thanksgiving, that we're finna celebrate what? Feast of Tabernacles. Feast of Tabernacles is a solemn assembly that the Lord distinguished and set apart by his knowledge, right? It's kind of crazy that they're having Christmas starting tomorrow. And guess what? The Feast of Dedication of our Feast of Dedication starts tomorrow. It's an 8-day celebration that we celebrate from tomorrow to next week. And it's always in their appointed seasons. So the Feast of Dedication is always appointed in the winter, right? And we know that. We know in the scriptures in First Maccabees chapter 4, it tells you the mean season. That mean season is going into the winter, right? This is how we know when, and the book of Leviticus chapter 23 gives you appointment and time dates of when you celebrate your feast days. Now, is it ironic or is it a coincidence that this Bible has been out years before, and now every time there's a celebration that the Most High God appointed, there's also a wicked pagan holiday to follow along with it? They're trying to keep you docile in your mind, Israel, because they know if you out of order, they can still get your butt, right? That's according to that Judith 5:20. Well, let's get that. Let's get that Second Maccabees right quick. This is why they try to keep you out of order, man. Second Maccabees 8:36. Like Judith 5:20 said, we want to get the precept to it though. Second Maccabees 8:36, the last precept in the chapter. Because they know when you're out of order, they know that your God is not fighting for you. But when you are in order, your God will definitely fight for you. It's simple as that, man. The heathen know that. So while we still out here celebrating Christmas and New Year's, they out here saying, oh, we got him. We got him. Right? We got him. Nowhere in the Bible does it tell you, well, I can't say that because the Passover definitely tells you that that's a new year for you. So if anybody gonna be celebrating some New Year's, you should be celebrating the Passover. The Passover is your New Year, right? We're not calling it New Year's and none of that. We celebrating the Passover, which is a new year for the children of Israel. But Second Maccabees 8:36. Thus he that took upon him to make good to the Romans their tribute by means of the captives in Jerusalem told abroad that the Jews had God to fight for them, and therefore they could not be hurt. Why? Because they followed the laws that he gave them. We can't be hurt if we continue in the laws that the Most High God gave us, man. Right? This is a precept to that Judith 5:20, showing you that the heathen know that if we are keeping the God's laws, they can't touch us. Right? We too legit to quit. Right? When the heathen, when Israel is keeping the laws of the Most High God, we are too legit to quit. But when we are not, then we are easily infiltrated and the Lord is not dealing with us, man. That scripture shows you plainly, man, right? So we want to make sure that we don't abide in, number one, like I said, the first thing that we see that is not the reason for the season is pork, right? They out here putting pork in everything. They got pork in candy. They got pork in deodorant. They got pork in everything you can possibly think of. Why? Because they know that it's unclean to us, man. They know that you children of Israel are out of order when you are dealing with that thing, right? So Isaiah 1:13 shows you that the Lord is not dealing with those solemn days that you call Christmas and none of these things, according to Amos 5:21. Let's just go to Jeremiah 10 right quick. Let's get into it. We know we always go to this precept, man, right here, this chapter. And it's a little deeper when you dig into it more. The more you dig into these things, the more you get information on these wicked holidays and these wicked pagan holidays, the more precepts start making sense to you, man. That's right. All praise, good precept. That is a new month, right? That is the first month. That's right. That is a new year to the children of Israel according to the Passover, man. Right? But let's go to Jeremiah chapter 10. And like I said, verse 1. We'll start at verse 1. When you start doing your research and history on these pagan holidays, right? First of all, if you did your research and history on Christmas, which was formerly called what, Saturnalia, something like that, that was basically introduced by the Syrians or Syria going into the Assyrians. You understand that that was around what, 700, 720, right? AD. I mean BC, Shalaki, my bad, Shalaki. That's around 700, 720 BC, right? The Assyrians took over around that time. They introduced Saturnalia, or the Yule. It was called like the Day of Yule. It was really for children and their parents in Saturnalia, right? These were wicked days of the heathen nations, man, right? This was introduced around that time, right? Now, Jeremiah is going to give you the understanding on why not to do this according to that time. That's right. You definitely got to look at that, Sister Bossing Up. They'll have beef links or beef this and that, but then read the ingredients and you'll see that it has pork casing. Why? They know. They keep trying to keep us down. They know this, man. Right? Why? If you making beef links, then why the hell are you still putting it in pork casing? It's just dumbfounding how they try to treat the children of Israel, man. Right? Like we just all dummies. All praise that the Most High God has woke some of us up, man. To read, man. Read your packages. But again, so the Syrians or Syria around that time introduced this pagan holiday that we keep as Christmas, right? And the Romans, all they did was they appointed this thing and took hold of it, right? The Romans, or the Roman and the Catholic Church, they took hold of this thing and made it a day, right? They took hold of it and said that we're gonna make this day a day of idolizing, really, because this is what it's about. Christmas is about idolizing, and we'll prove it. So again, the Syrians were around 700, right? Now, Jeremiah, right? The prophet Jeremiah is around Babylonian, right? He's around the Babylonian captivity, right? So he's in between like 600 and 500 BC. So these are years afterwards. That's why you see the book of Jeremiah from the prophesied about not keeping Saturnalia or not keeping the day of Yule. Look it up. You'll see this is why Jeremiah is telling you not to keep these days. It goes within a timeline of the Bible. You have to do your history and research and get a great timeline of the Bible, man. Shabbat shalom, Jose. How you doing? Jeremiah 10:1. Hear the word which the Lord speaketh to you, O house of Israel. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Right? Because the heathens introduced this, man. Right? Like I said, the Syria or Syrians introduced this, man, as the day of Yule or Saturnalia, which was normally, inducted with the Roman and Catholic Church bringing Saturnalia. But it was the day of Yule, UL, right? Look it up. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, right? Let's see how this is a day of idol worship, right? Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain. Right? The Bible tells you in verse 2, man, don't deal with these heathen customs. Why? He said, because the customs of the heathen are vain, man. This is not a day that the children of Israel or the Most High God ordained or deemed to be a day for the children of Israel. He never ordained or deemed so-called Christmas, December 25th, as a day that we should keep. Shalom, Sister Hannah. How y'all doing? Hope the family is good, man. Right? But verse 3 says, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. So we know that this is, if anybody can prove it, say anything against it, that this is not going into that wicked custom, because it definitely is, man, right? So Lamar, Brother Lamar, how you doing, man? So, verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. And let's see what the custom that he's talking about. Verse 10 is definitely going into this wicked day right here, right? It says, one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with an axe. So this vain custom that we're talking about has axemen going into the woods or going outside, cutting down a tree. Let's see what they do with this tree. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers that it move not. So first thing, if you got any tree that's being decorated in any kind of way, you can decorate it with silver and gold. You can decorate it with lights, with ornaments, whatever the case may be. We know that this custom is definitely going into wicked Christmas. Back then, in this day, it was going into wicked the day of Yule, right? Shalom, brother Yaakov, why you doing? Huh? Shalom. Brother Lamar, Moses, all praises, y'all. Come on in. So we know that this custom, the vain custom that Jeremiah is telling us in chapter 10 that we should not learn after the heathen, is this wicked Christmas day of Yule or Saturnalia, right? Verse 4 again. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. So you know, back then they had to cut the tree out the forest and they had to nail it down so that it wouldn't move. Now today, they make trees with stands, right? So that you can make it stand up. All you gotta do is go cut your tree and just drop it in a stand, or the tree comes with a stand already, right? We see and have without a shadow of a doubt that this custom is talking about wicked Christmas, man, right? No other custom is involved with a tree being decorated, right? Verse 5. And then the last part of that, they fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not, right? Because if you just get a tree out the forest and go in there and put it in your house, it's gonna fall down, right? You know, the stem of a tree will not just sit upright, right? But here's the point, verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree, right? But speak not, they must needs be born. It said they don't speak, they must needs be born, right? That palm tree. That's what they would do. That's what they were using back in the day. They were using palm trees. And around the Syrian time, around the 700-800 time, they were using a palm tree. I think around the so like I just lost my thought. Around the Roman Catholic time, they were using a fir tree, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like I said, look these things up, man. So they were using a palm tree in this part of time, right? And you can get many books, man. I've seen brothers bring out great books to show that they were definitely using palm trees for the day of Yule around this time, right? They are upright, verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. So Jeremiah is giving you the understanding, right? So more Nimrod going into more than, like I said, this time frame. Jeremiah was in the time frame of 580, 600 BC, around that time. He's referring to the time frame of 700, 800 BC, where the Assyrians came in and basically gave us this wicked custom. Nimrod was around the time of the Catholic and Roman Church when they adopted this Saturnalia, right? So this is a little further, but he's definitely showing you that you should not be afraid of this idol. He's definitely showing that you should not be afraid of this idol, right? This idol that he's going into is this tree, because this is what we did as a nation of people. We served idols. The Lord gave us that in our 10 commandments, that we should not serve idols, right? Yes, Kean McElvin, right? But like I'm trying to show you in this time, it's a time frame that I'm in right now. Nimrod was around the time of the Catholic Roman custom when they introduced it from the wicked holiday Saturnalia. Jeremiah in this time frame is showing you that the Syrians or the Assyrians came and brought this and adopted this custom to us, and not to be afraid of this custom at that time. This wasn't dealing. It wasn't definitely saying Nimrod at this time, but in a sense, in a way, you can say that it's saying don't be afraid of Nimrod either, right? So like I said, it's this time frame that you want to that we want to deal with, showing that this custom has been around before Jeremiah. This is why Jeremiah is prophesying about don't deal with it. This is how long a time ago that this custom was introduced to the children of Israel, right? So it says, verse 5 again, they are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. This is idolizing, right? This is idolism. but it speaks not. They must needs be born. They must needs to be born, going into what? Carried, right? Because they cannot go. They can't be carried they can't be moved unless somebody carry them. Think about all idols. Every idol that the children of Israel dealt with. When we made the baby calf around the time of Aaron, and when the time Moses went to get the commandments from the Father, from Christ, um, we know that they carried these idols, right? They need to be born. This is what Jeremiah is telling you. Don't be afraid of it, because it's not alive. It's not a living creature. It is an idol. Treat it as that, right? This is what Jeremiah is telling us. He says, because they cannot go, be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also it is in them to do good. So Jeremiah is giving us great understanding of this time period. Kwanzaa. Well, a lot of people initiate Kwanzaa with the Feast of Dedication, right? I know we just call it the Feast of Dedication, but I know a lot of camps that do actually deal with Kwanzaa being part of, or saying, or being used with the wordplay of the Feast of Dedication, right? Not Christmas. Let's go to Leviticus. Let's get the law on this thing, man. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 18. Jeremiah said, the customs of the people are vain. Do not follow after their customs, man. Let's go to Leviticus 18. You get the law on this. 18:3. And it reads, after the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, where I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall you walk in their ordinances. So the Most High God told us that he was going to give us what the land of Egypt, the land of Canaan, for our inheritance, right? But he said, just because people did certain things in that time frame, don't mean you do it. Let's see what he said. Ye shall do my judgments. Verse 4, ye shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them, and I am the Lord. So we see that the Most High God gave us straight commandments, man, according to 2 Ezra 7:21. He gave us straight commandments on what we should do. When we come into our land, right? When the Most High God sent us over here in this wicked America to be captives over here, Hanukkah. Shalaga, I know you said Kwanzaa. Hanukkah. I've seen them use Hanukkah, not Kwanzaa. Graham, I'm glad you said that, because I said Kwanzaa. Hanukkah. I've seen them use Hanukkah. They've used Hanukkah before, right? But we want to, the way the captains we deal with it is Feast of Dedication, right? But no, not Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. I'm glad you said that, sis. So the Most High gave us straight commandments on what we should do when we come into this wicked America. We shouldn't do the customs of the heathen. These are heathen customs that we are proclaiming, right? As days to the Lord, and then we are proclaiming them and saying, well, Jesus is the reason for the season. The Lord is why we do this, right? They love to make an excuse. Well, I'm doing it for the children. I'm doing it because this is what my parents taught. Well, we did the same thing. We were taught certain things, but we are now knocking off those things that we were taught and trying to reteach ourselves, right? Jump over to go Leviticus 20 and 23. The Lord gave us straight commandments on these things, man. Don't follow after the customs of the wicked heathen. Let's start at 22, Leviticus 20 and 22. This is another law on not dealing with the customs of the heathen. Right? So, and this is the reason why we bring this out, because all you got to do is look it up. If you see that this is a custom of the heathen, then you know that the Lord said that you can't do it. So some people, what they do, like a lot of Christians, what they do, I don't want to hear that. Well, like, let's read the scripture. I don't want to hear that. Why? Because they know that that scripture is going to cut them up from what they're doing, man. So that's a good question too, Brother Hosea. Because I'm going to tell you, some camps don't keep the Feast of Dedication, right? They feel like it's not part of the big three, right? When you go to Deuteronomy 16 and 16, just like, I'm going to tell you, just like the day of Simon and destruction of Nicanor. Some camps don't keep these days, man, right? And they do that, not saying that it's not a feast of the Lord, but they're saying it's not one of the commanded feasts. Let's go to Deuteronomy right quick. Right? But we, like we said, we dig into the scriptures. The Bible says to what? Study to show yourself approved. And we see that our forefathers deemed these days to be holy days, right? So if our forefathers, Shalom, Sister Danielle, if our forefathers fought for these days and deemed these days as the high days, as days that we should celebrate, then we do it, right? Basically saying there's no law against it. There is a law against keeping Christmas. There is a law against keeping Thanksgiving. There is a law against keeping Easter. But there's no law against keeping days that our forefathers brought out, right? Yes, it talks about high days. Let's read this. Deuteronomy 16:16. 3 times in a year shall all males appear before the Lord thy God in the place where these shall choose. In the feast of unleavened bread, in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles. And they shall not appear before the Lord empty. So we see that the Lord gave us 3 high holy days that we must attend, right? Those are the 3 high holy days that we must attend. So saying that, oh, if a camp not keeping a feast of dedication, they out of order, we can't say that, right? But we see that our fathers or forefathers, the Maccabees, and the Maccabean revolt, Judas Maccabeus and Jonathan, and the father Mattathias, we see that they fought and gave their lives for us to what? Come out of wickedness, right? So these are days that we definitely keep, but some camps don't. And then, like we said, well, there's no law, there's no sin, right? But we know that those 3 days that Deuteronomy 16:16 was referring to is Passover, is Feast of Weeks, and is Tabernacles, right? Those are the 3 feasts that we know that we are definitely commanded to keep. But there's no law against us keeping the Feast of Dedication. There's no law against us keeping the day of Simon or destruction of Nicanor. There's no law against it. But some camps don't keep those days, right? And you know, that's why we always say you got to get with a camp that best resonates and fits with your spirit, right? But we see that in the scriptures, and we do celebrate these days. So we see laws against going after heathen customs. Let's go to Leviticus 20 and let's start at 22. Leviticus 20:22. Ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out. So he's telling you, keep his commandments in the land that I'm going to bring you to. When I bring you to America, don't let America spew you out with Christmas and with Easter and with Thanksgiving and with birthdays, right? Because this is another form of what they are saying that December 25th is based on. They're saying that this is based on Christ's birthday. When you won't find a scripture that shows you that Christ's birthday was in the dead winter, you won't see that. So this is another thing. The Lord deemed birthdays as unholy to the children of Israel, right? Well, let's read 23. And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nations, which I cast out before you. For they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. So we can't go into these manners. We can't go into wickedness, into Christmases, and to pagan holidays that they go into. This is a straight commandment that the Lord gave us not to keep these things, right? And like I said, they want to deem December 25th as saying this is Christ's birthday, right? Well, the Lord is against us celebrating birthdays. So this is how you know that this is not the real reason for the season, man. Not at all, man. Let's go to Job. Go to Job chapter 3, y'all. This is not the reason for this season. Let's start at verse 1. We're going to read down a little bit too. After this, opened Job his mouth and cursed his day. And Job spake and said, let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said there is a man child conceived. So Job cursed his birthday, man. He cursed the day he was born. Let's see why though. Let the day be darkness. Let not God regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it. So Job is in the spirit with this thing. He's saying, what does the celebration of lights come in? Well, we're going to that. That's going into the feast of uh, dedication. That's going into First Maccabees chapter 4. I'm not going into that much tonight. If I have time, sis, I'll show you that precept. I'm going into pagan Christmas more so. But I'll try to pull that in for you before we get out of here, sis. Verse 3 and verse 2. And Job spake and said, let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, there is a man child conceived, right? Let that day be darkness. Let not God regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it, right? That's a great precept, Hosea. We're going to that next. Verse 5. Let darkness and the shadow of death stain it. So the day of his birthday, Job said, let the shadow of death stain that thing, man, right? This is heavy wordplay that Job is using. Let a cloud dwell upon it. You know, cloud is going into a covering. He said he wants to cover that day up. We don't want to celebrate that day. Let the blackness of the day terrify it. As for that night, let darkness seize upon it. Let it not be joined into the days of the year. Let it not come into the number of the months. So Job is going against his birthday, man, right? Verse 7, lo, let that night be solitary. Let no joyful voice come therein. Damn, man, let them curse it that curse the day, who are ready to raise up their mourning. Let the stars of the twilight thereof be dark. Let it look for light, but have none, neither let it see the dawning of the day. So Job is saying, let the stars of the night be dark on that day, man. Right? This is how hard Job is going into not wanting to celebrate his birthday. Verse 9, let the stars of the twilight thereof be dark. Let it look for light, but have none. Neither let it see the dawning of the day. Because it shut not up the doors of my mother's womb, nor hid sorrow from mine eyes. So this is going into the day that Job said he was born. He's born into what? He's born into sin, or a curse, right? Knowing that this flesh is sin. He said, verse 10, because it shut not up the doors of my mother's womb, nor hid sorrows from mine eyes. Because as soon as Job is born, he's born into a wicked world, right? He's born into a wicked world of sin. This is why the Lord had to take up Enoch, man. This is why the Lord had to come get him. He said there's too much wickedness in the world, right? He had to get him away from it. And this is the same thing Job is saying. Verse 11, why died Romans 1, definitely. Romans 1 and 21, definitely out. Verse 11, why died I not from the womb? So Job is saying, damn, that day was so terrible. He said, I could have died from that day from the womb. He said, why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Because Job is telling you that the day we are born into sin and wickedness, right? That's why the scripture says better is the end of a thing than the beginning, right? Because the end of the thing is death, but just hopefully we have understanding that we've learned when it's time for us to die, that we've put in righteous rehearsals, and now our end game is the king, right? Verse 12, why did the knees prevent me, or why the breast that I should suck? For now should I have lain still and been quiet, I should have slept. Then had I been at rest. He said, if I'd have just been sleeping that day and not even been born, I'd have been at rest. You see that? We'd have been at peace, but we want to celebrate our born day, our birthday, but that's one of the most prolific idol worship days there is. If you go into that idolizing book, you'll see that one of the biggest the biggest day for idolizing is birthdays. You know, I work at the clubs. I do security outside, so people come all day and they be drunk as hell. I be like, damn, what's wrong with y'all, man? Y'all, it's her birthday. Don't say nothing to us. Now, hell, trick all that, man. Somebody care because it's her birthday. Don't come out here with that dumb stuff, man. It's my day. It's her day. No, it ain't. It's the day that the Lord gave you, man. Should be celebrating that mess anything, man. You can't get in, man. You already drunk as hell. Go on now. You run. Or just like when I check their ID, they say, yeah, you see that today, my birthday. Tell me happy birthday. Will not. Here you go. Oh, he's so rude. He's so mean. Yeah. We're not supposed to celebrate these days. Look how hard Job is going on his day of birth. Verse 14, with kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves. Let's get that Jeremiah 20, like Brother Hosea put in there, man. That's right. That's right. Jeremiah 20. And verse 14. Show you that is a day that is cursed, that Job saw which was cursed. Job 20 and 14. Cursed be the day wherein I was born. Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed. So the Lord is showing you, cursed the day that I was born, man. Right? Then we see in Job chapter 1 that his sons celebrated their birthdays. And what happened? They were killed, man. Right? I'm going to tell you, and that's just how the Lord worked with us. I never really had a birthday, y'all. I can't show you 1 year out of my life where they said, well, oh, let's have a birthday party for you. I never did because I never liked it. A lot of times when I had birthdays, I was at work. I'm telling y'all, I promise y'all, that's how I was, man. And I thank the Most High God for having me like that, man. I didn't care about no damn birthdays, man. I'm going to work that day, right? Same thing with these whack holidays, man. Y'all, we know, you know. If anybody at work today, it's the children of Israel, right? Taking that job. Children of Israel taking that job today. Yeah, I'll be there. And you gonna give me some extra money to be there? I'm there. Shit, yeah, I'm there. Exactly. New Year's, etc. Right? We just going into this wicked Christmas today, deeming as Christmas Eve tonight, but we talking about all these holidays and customs, man. So we see that birthdays are definitely not a part of Christ. Get that time and a half. So I'm gonna pay you double. All right? That's how I stopped eating pork. Already. I don't care how you stop eating, as long as you stop eating it, right? Yeah, some days pay you double time, bossing up, right? So we see that they say Jesus is the reason for the season, but they want to deem December 25th as Christ's birthday. Nowhere in the Bible would Christ ever tell you to celebrate his birthday. He don't tell you to celebrate your own damn birthday. Why would we celebrate Christ's birthday, man? Did Paul approve eating pork? No. Paul never went against the Most High God or Christ. Paul was taught by Christ. Paul never went against the Lord. He never went against the scriptures. But that's right, young Philly. We know that Christ wasn't born on December 25th, man. We know that. We got too many precepts to prove that, man. That he was not born in the mean winter. No, Paul did not go against the Most High God or Christ at any given time. Let me get a precept on that real quick. Let's go to Acts. Where I want to go. 22. I want to do that. It's many precepts. Let's go to 26 and 22, I believe. Yeah, let's go to Acts 26 and 22 right quick. The book of Acts, chapter 26, verse 22. Having therefore obtained help of God, I continue unto this day, witnessing both to small and great. This is the point where Paul is saying none other things than those which the prophets and Moses did say should come. Paul is letting you know I've never said anything out of my mouth that Paul nor the prophets didn't say, man. Right? That's right, Sister Deborah. Happy feast of dedication to all my family, man, right? Yes, Lamar. He was born around that time, right? Around the new year. So we see that Paul never went against the scriptures, right? He never said anything different than what than what Moses or the prophets spoke of, man, right? Got many precepts, man, on that, man. Let's go to 22 and 3. Jump over. Let's go to Acts 22 and 3. A lot of precepts. to show Paul never went against or said that it was okay to eat pork. People just took scriptures out of context, and now you got Christians want to try to push. Oh, well, they say you can be eating with Thanksgiving, like I said at the beginning of the class. They're gonna try to go to 1 Timothy 4. They're gonna try to go to Luke chapter 7. They're gonna try to go a lot of places. In this, you're referring to Acts chapter 10, right? When Cornelius had got the vision, and Paul told him that don't deem anything unclean. That was going into people though. That was going into the vision that he got, going into the people, right? Not food. Acts 22:3. I am verily a man which am a Jew, born in Tarsus, a city in Cilicia, get brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel, and taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers, and was zealous toward God, as ye all are this day. So we see that Paul is definitely telling you that he taught no other thing but the kingdom to come of the Most High God, man. Let's get one more. It's another precept to show you that Paul never deemed or said anything about eating pork or anything against the prophets. Definitely, Paul did say listen to Christ, right? Let's prove that. Acts 28:23. And when they had appointed him a day, there came many to him in his lodging, to whom he expounded and testified the kingdom of God, persuading them concerning Christ, both out of the law of Moses and out of the prophets, from morning till evening. The only thing Paul ever talked about was the law of the Most High God. He deemed the Moses and the prophets' words to be true, man, right? That's right. That's another good precept that you put in there, Jose. That's right. Exactly. Paul always told you to refer to Christ and refer to the prophets and Moses, man, right? Y'all might think I'm lying, y'all, but I just pulled my damn class in front of me. That's crazy. Well, this is crazy. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 20, man. Shalaka, man. I gotta go to work tonight and everything. Told you, we're gonna be at work tonight, boy. The Israelites gonna be there. I won't give a damn about this weekend. Holiday they talking about. We know this ain't the reason of the season. Proverbs 20, and let's start at verse 1. Let's see if we can pull some proverbs or some great words out of this proverb and see if it lines up with what we're referring to today. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 1. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. So we know wine is going into what? Wine is going into what? What is wine going into in the Bible? When you see the word wine, what is wine going into? Anybody? Wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging. What is wine and strong drink going into? See, we got brothers and sisters in here. Again, let's go to Isaiah 28:7. That's right. Isaiah 28:7. Let's see what wine is going into. It says wine is a mocker, right? Wine is going into spirits, is going into doctrines. Strong drink. This is going into doctrines. When you see wine, a lot of times you can affiliate wine with doctrines. Let's see this. Go to Isaiah 28 and verse 7. Isaiah 28:7. But they also have erred through wine, through doctrines, right? And through strong drink, or out of the way. The priests and the prophets have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. Wine is going into doctrine. It said the prophets are swallowed up through wine. It said they stumble at judgment. They err in their vision. Doctrine, different doctrines have taken over us. So when we go back to Proverbs 20:1, it says, wine is a mocker. This doctrine of Christmas is a mocker, right? Strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. So if you're still celebrating Christmas and we bringing you precept after precept, we're giving you understanding on this thing, we're bringing out the laws against Christmas, I mean, you're not wise, man. The scriptures say that, man. Watch this, verse 2. The fear of a king is as the roaring of a lion. Whoso provoketh him to anger sinneth against his own soul. So the king of this of Christmas would be what? Like they said, Nimrod going into what? The Roman Catholic Church and the Romans, and going into what? The Syrians around the times who brought this first day up to us, right? It said the fear of the king is of a roaring lion, because people, no matter what they say, they are scared to go against some of these holidays, man. Right? It's like Officer Berechiah said in the class last week. He was like, they tried to make me keep Christmas, right? They Christmas party, they tried to make me keep it. Then he was like, they tried to give me like I don't know if he said a big TV or a PlayStation 5 or something. He said all I had to do was participate in it, right? So a lot of people scared. They want that free. They want that prize, right? They want that TV. They want that PlayStation 5. It says the fear of a king is as the roaring of a lion, whoso provoketh him to anger sinneth against his own soul. Because I'm gonna tell you, when you go against these high holy days and things at your jobs, they gonna put a mark on you. They don't like you. I don't talk to him about Chris. And nigga, bah humbug, he's Scrooge, right? You damn right, man, right? Verse 3, it is an honor for a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. So it's our honor to cease from doing these wicked high holidays, man. Not holy days, high holidays. It's our honor to stop doing Christmas and Thanksgiving, right? It says, but every fool will be meddling. But fool, I'm going to tell you, you are keeping these damn days, Christmases and stuff, the Bible calls you a fool. We didn't say it, we just read it. That's what the word of God says. Verse 4, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg and harvest and have nothing. That's heavy. Verse 4, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. That's saying what? People always make an excuse, man. Oh, I'm only doing Christmas for the children. Or I'm only doing it because we bring families together. Or I'm only doing it for the food, right? That's a damn excuse, man. No matter what you're doing, if you're doing it for Christmas, it's not of the Most High God. He told you in Amos 5:21, he told you in Isaiah 1:13 that he deemed those days to be not of him. He said, I hate your solemn feast days, right? So it says the sluggard will not plow by reason of cold. What is sluggard? Sluggard is going to somebody who's what? Lazy, slothful, right? In this instance, keeping Christmas is just what? It's easy. It's easy for us to keep, right? Because it's right there for us. But it's hard for somebody to come up out of these wicked ways. But it said the sluggard will not plow by reason of cold. A sluggard will not want to stop keeping Christmas because of excuse, man. Right? Therefore shall he beg and harvest and have nothing. But guess what? That's right. But guess what? Soon as they done got done with Christmas, now they empty as hell. Pockets empty as hell. They ain't got no money. I heard people every day. I was telling my wife, every day I hear, man, this damn Christmas, boy, they own me, man. I ain't got nothing right now. That's what I always tell them. That's why I don't keep that shit. I tell them all the time. That's why I don't celebrate. All praise, I don't celebrate. I ain't got to have that problem. I'm broke because I'm just broke. I ain't broke because I'm out here buying presents. I'm just broke because I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I just got bills and stuff to pay. I ain't broke because I'm buying them damn Christmas presents. So, shame on you. But we see that this proverb is definitely giving us understanding on wicked customs, right? Verse 5, counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out, right? So counsel of a heart of a man is like deep water. Because guess what? They in too deep. What's the movie called In Too Deep with LL Cool J? Because they in too deep. They've been keeping Christmas so long, they children expecting something. Them children expecting the best gifts they can possibly get. They're expecting that big TV. They're expecting them shoes. They're expecting that shirt. They're expecting that jewelry, right? That watch. They're expecting that. But it says what counsel is in the heart of a man is like deep water. But you can't get them out of this now because they ain't too deep with it, right? Let these people try to go tell their children next year, hey, we ain't keeping Christmas next year. Well, them children go, man, I disown my mom and my daddy, right? Well, so be it. Because the Bible say, obey your parents and all things. So that's going to be your ass out of order, right? Not Boaz, but your ass. But a man of understanding will draw it out. But no matter how deep you've been rooted in keeping these high holidays, a man of understanding will get his ass up out of it, man. That's what these brothers and sisters that's online are doing, right? No matter how deep they were into this thing, they had to stop, right? No matter, like Lamar said, well, brother, you was good that you didn't keep his birthday, because I guess he said I was keeping them whole. So we had to draw ourselves up out of that thing, man. No matter how deep we go into them, we got to get up out of them, man, right? Proverbs 22:6 said, well, train up a child the way he should go. When he old, he want to pour from. We getting the next generation set up and ready, right? Like I tell brothers and sisters all day long, y'all thinking that we doing something, man, wait till this next generation come, man. They ain't going to be able to touch them, man. It's going to be so hard on these people, man. So we see that Christ is not the reason for the season, man, right? But what is the reason for the season is the Feast of Dedication, right? Let's get that right quick, man. Before we go there, before we go to First Maccabees, let's go to 1 Peter chapter 4. Because people be tripping, man. They see us not keeping these high holidays, and they think we out here tripping, man. They think we out here tripping. You tripping, baby. You tripping. You know, Houston. Capt Houston will say, you tripping, man. You tripping, baby, for real, Jack. You tripping, baby. You tripping. That's how the Houston boys talk. You tripping, baby. For real. But 1 Peter chapter 4. We'll start at verse 1. So they really think we tripping out here. We're not keeping these days, man. For as much then as Christ had suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that had suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. So, and this is a great precept, because this gives me every precept that I want to pull that I didn't pull. Because Christ is our example, according to 1 Peter 2:21 on down. Christ is our example, right? And it says Christ suffered in the flesh, just like the Maccabees, man, just like they revolted to suffer, to keep our laws, man. This is our example. This is where they got it from. They got it from Christ, right? This is the real reason, right, for the season. Christ is, but they deeming Christ being the season for them to eat pork, for them to celebrate his birthday, right? Wicked. Verse 2, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to lust of men, but to the will of God. So this is what we ought to be doing, man. Not living in the flesh for the lust of men, but to the will of God, man. We need to be doing the will of God. What is the will of God? Somebody put that precept in the chat if brothers and sisters don't have it, man. Somebody put that will of God in the chat, man. I know y'all know it. Verse 3. For the time past of our lives may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles. See, when we was out here keeping birthdays, celebrating birthdays, and doing Christmas things, we were doing the will of the Gentiles. When we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, reveling, banquetings, and abominable idolatries. That was the will of the Gentiles, right? Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, birthdays. But here's the point, verse 4, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. But now they think you strange. They think you tripping. They think you the one that's tripping now, because you ain't keeping no birthdays, because you ain't celebrating Christmas, because you ain't indulging in these wicked holidays that they keeping, that you ain't indulging in these wicked customs of the heathen, man. They think it's strange that you don't run in the same excess of riot. I don't see nobody put it in there. That will of God, the will of God is Psalms 40:7, right? Wherein they think it's strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. Verse 5, who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead. For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh. Right? That they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to God in the spirit. That's another, yeah, I know you put that 47. I know, Mo. I know what you was trying to put. It says, but they should be a judge according to men in the flesh. That's another precept that I can put for judging. Right? They say we can't judge. But you see, in 1 Peter, in the New Testament, it tells you that we are going to have to be judged by men in the flesh. Right? But live according to God in the spirit. Right? You want your brother and your sister to judge you, man. Hey, brother, man, you tripping, man. You ain't got your fringes on. You want that. So, because if the Lord judge you on it, you don't know what his judgment will be. The Lord might what? Tear your shirt up. He might what? Tear your life up, man. You just never know. That's why you want to be judged by men in the flesh and have that God, the Spirit of God on you, and be ready for God's judgment at the end time. Right? So they think it's strange that we don't run out to that access. A riot that they doing, man. Right? But the reason for the season is the Feast of Dedication. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 4 and let's start at verse 1. We'll read down a little bit, then we'll get to the end part. 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 1. Then took Gorgias 5,000 footmen and 1,000 of the best horsemen and removed out of the camp by night. So these were wicked men trying to come and plot against the children of Israel, right? To the end he might rush it upon the camp of the Jews. So he was trying to bring this army and fight against the Jews and smite them suddenly. And the men of the fortress were his guides. Now when Judas heard thereof, Judas Maccabees, right, the hammer, he himself removed and the valiant men with him, that he might smite the king's army, which was at Emmaus, right? While as yet the forces were dispersed from the camp. Here's the point that I wanted to touch. In the mean season came Gorgias by night into the camp of Judas, and when he found no man there, he sought them in the mountains, for said he, these fellows flee from us, right? But as soon as it was day, Judas shewed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless had neither armor nor sword to their mind. So Gorgias took 5,000 men who were the best at what they did. But Judas Maccabees took only 3,000 men that wasn't even war vets. They were just what? Law keepers, man. That's it. That's how the Lord uses. The Lord don't need numbers. The Lord will take that 300 who ain't never fought and kill that 5,000. I mean, take that 3,000 ain't never been war army vets and kill that 5,000 that are war army vets, right? But verse 5 it said, in the mean season. This is how we know that we keep the Feast of Dedication in the winter. Because the mean season is going into the winter time. That is the hardest season, right? The mean season. Right? So let's read verse 6. But as soon as it was day, Judas shewed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless had neither armor nor sword to their mind. So these weren't men that were great at war. These were regular blacksmiths and coals and coal miners and things of that nature, man. Right? And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed and compassed round about with horsemen. And these were experts of war. You see that? So them 5,000 that Gorgias brought were experts at war. Then Judas and the men that were with him, then said Judas to the men that were with him, fear ye not their multitude, neither be afraid of their assault. Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. So this is what we always got to have, man, around these times. We got to have some seers of the Most High God, some prophets of the Most High God, some apostles, some teachers of the Most High God to always put remembrance back on the children of Israel of how great we were of a nation and how great we can be if we just believe in our God, if we just keep our commandments. That's the only thing that Judas Maccabees did around this time. He made them remember how our God brought us out of Egypt, man, with the Red Sea, man. How he parted the Red Sea for the children of Israel, man. right? How Pharaoh and his army was a great army. Ramses was a great army of people, man, that he slaughtered for us, man, right? Let's jump over to verse 41. First Maccabees 4 and 41. So we always got to put the nation back in remembrance of how great we are and what we have to do, Israel. We got to get off these wicked holidays, man. Verse 41. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress until he had cleansed the sanctuary, right? So he chose priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law. So this is what we got to do. We got to start accumulating and getting more bodies of people that have pleasure in keeping God's law, who cleanse the sanctuary and bear out the defiled stones into an unclean place. And when as they consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings, which was profane, so they was like, what should we do with this altar, man, right? They thought it best to pull it down, lest this should be a reproach to them, because the heathen that defiled it, whereof they pulled it down. That's a heavy point of what we have to do, right? You can't say that you changed or you woke. People love to say they woke, but they still keeping Christmas. Get the hell out of here, man. Right? Bring it out, man. That's right. All praise God. You can't talk about, you can't be out here talking about, I'm woke. I'm woke. What they love to say? I'm conscious. But you are still keeping Christmas. Maccabees, they thought it best to pull that whole altar down. We're not finna try to cleanse it because of an unclean thing. How can you make it clean? What we need to do is tear that whole thing down. You got to get your whole mindset changed. You got to tear down Christmas out of your mind. You got to tear down Easter. You got to tear down everything that you was taught and become little children, like Matthew 18 and 3 say. This is why the Lord tells you to come back as little children, because you got to get all that out of you, man. You have to. They said, now we're going to tear that temple down. We're not going to start to try to rebuild it. No, we go start it from scratch. We go rebuild it from scratch. That's what we got to do, Israel. With these temples being our bodies, we got to rebuild this thing from scratch, man. Right? Let's jump over to verse 56. We'll just read this and end out the class, man. Right? This is the real reason for the season. First Maccabees 4 and 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness and sacrifice of deliverance and praise. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold and with shields, and the gates of the chambers they renewed and hinged doors upon them. So this is where you see that we definitely celebrated. When they call it the Feast of Lights, we definitely celebrated and decked out our houses. You know, it's okay to celebrate, deck out your house and put something around your house. Put a big FOD in your house for feast of dedication, right? Celebrate your house, deck it out real nice, right? It's okay to do that. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold and with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed and hanged doors upon them. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away. We're going to be glad when they put this wicked Christmas away, man. Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season, in the mean season, around this time, from year to year, by the space of 8 days, from the 5 and 20th day of the month Caslu, with myrrh and gladness. This is how we know to keep the Feast of Dedication in its months, right? We know that this is going around the 9th month, right? We know that this is going into Caslu. This is around the time that we're supposed to keep this in its days, right? Verse 60. At that time also they builded up the Mount Zion with high walls and strong towers round about it, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down as they had done before. So we got to build up the decayed state of our people, right? The walls that we got to put is going to what? Us fortifying ourselves, man. Put that wall of understanding on your mind and don't let them try to portray you to go back into these wicked days. And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethsura to preserve it, that the people the people might have a defense against Idumea. This is our defense against Idumea. We know that Idumea is going into Esau, which is going into the so-called white man, right? We can definitely prove that, man. All praises to the Most High God. The real reason for the season is the Feast of Dedication, which is found in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, We pray that brothers and sisters are not celebrating whack pagan holiday Christmas, that we are also staying in the spirit, that we are conveying this message to other brothers and sisters to not keep these holidays. We always say keep the laws of the Most High God. Let's go back to Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 3. We'll read that as our law tonight. I'm happy to see brothers and sisters online. Shout out to my brother from Jamaica. I seen the Benjamin in the building. Brother Moses, man, since the bossing up. Rob Blacks, man. All my brothers and sisters, Captain and Nav. Good to see all my family, man. If I didn't mention your name, you know I still love you. I keep pushing Israel this truth and sincerity, man. That we may be great vessels used and fitted for destruction. The law for today will be Leviticus 18 and 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwell, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, which I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. So we shall not be doing Christmas, man. Verse 4, ye shall do my judgment. We should be doing what? Feast of dedication. And keep my ordinances to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord. I'll pray this to the Most High God for this lesson. I pray that brothers and sisters were edified, got some form of understanding in this class. I pray that brothers and sisters continue to have a great week. Keep rebuking this wicked holiday, and let's keep pushing toward the truth. Happy Feast of Dedication, family. With that, Shalom.